talk's relatively short because I appreciate I'm between yourselves and the dinner and the bar here, so I'll try and keep it brief.
Switched it off.
Or as Fiona Bain said to Lizzie Steele, I'm no hanging about for long. This is my second time speaking at South Mid Young Farmers, or JAC dinner dance. I must admit, it's an absolute privilege. The first time I was here, I can remember it like it was yesterday. It was in the County Hotel in Dalkeith, and I was there, and it was the Burns Ball. And I sang of the sweet song and sweet lyrics. I sang of Sarah Peark's famous ginger hair, and famous ginger head hair. Since then, since I spoke at the Burns Ball at South Mid, it may not surprise anyone to know I was not asked back to do another speech. I simply can't understand why. Maybe it was because I was crapping the night, but I think more so it was South Mid's ginger fraternity working against me. It's good to see Lynn Bury here. Lynn, as we all can, Merrick fell there no long ago. And actually, on the night before the wedding, Jen here phoned me up and says, listen, Jim, what am I meant to get Lynn for a wedding present? And I says, well, Jen, you've got to try and figure out what Lynn hasn't got. And she says, but that's the trouble. Lynn's a woman with everything. I says, in that case, get her penicillin. I was speaking to Lynn early on, and I was having a blather with Lynn, and I was asking her how married life was. And I says to her, I says, Lynn, this might be a personal question, but what's the sex life like after you're married? And she says, well, Jim, it's like this. It's the same as it always was. She says, everybody's got that spare bedroom with a great big wardrobe in it. I says, aye. And she says, well, it's just like that phone on top of you with the key still in it.
Thanks, Shakes.
Introduction that I am indeed for Haik. It's a fantastic wee tune in the Borders. It's one of these tunes that you can go to and people still leave their back doors unlocked. Not because they feel secure, but just because of bugger all worth nicking inside. And that's backed up by the theory that the seagulls fly upside down because there's nothing worth shouting on. It's a little like Romania, just without the Olympic gymnast team. I went to Haik High School, and I'm proud to say a fellow Haik High School and classmate is here with us tonight, Michael Wharton. Me and Michael were star pupils at Haik. Me, I got the prize for best attendance, or as they call it at Haik High School, least truants. And Michael got the prize for the best artwork. Unfortunately, he did it in the side of the headmaster's car. But Haik's a place, it's a very special place to us all, and well, certainly to me and Michael anyway. And it's a place that I was actually walking up and down Haik High Street there this afternoon before I come up here, and it's a great place, a community spirit. They have a great sense of humour in Haik. In fact, I was walking along the high street and I got into the butcher's, used to get some sausages and such likes. And the butcher says, "Hi Jim, have you tried the Phil Murray burger?" And I says, "No, what's special about the Phil Murray burger?" He says, "It's big, greasy and full of shite." And I was in the other week, getting flowers with my girlfriend Kerry in the florist. And I get into the florist, and the florist says, "Jim, would you mind buying the Melanie Grant rose?" And I says, "What's special about the Melanie Grant rose?" He says, "It looks beautiful in the bedroom, but it's best planted up against the wall." You get further along, oh, it's a great place like this. You get further along Haik High Street and you go into the daycare centre for single mothers. It's got a big sign in the front of it and it says, "You should have danced all night." But just this afternoon, I was in the horse store. It's halfway along the high street, and I was in the Moore store, and I saw this brass rat sitting up on the Moore store shelf. So I took it to the slightly Asian complexion gent behind the till, and I says, hey, what about this brass rat? And he says, sir, it's £10 for the rat, £100 for the story behind the rat. And I says, bugger the story, I'm behind the rat. So I just buy this brass rat for £10. I take it out onto Hoyk High Street, and I'm walking along Hoyk High Street, and all these rats start plunging out the sewers, and they're falling as I'm like the Pied Piper, and I get rather upset at this, so I start running, and I throw this brass rat down the banks of the Teviot, into the Teviot, and all these rats behind us plunge in after this brass rat, never to be seen again, down the flush, down into the Teviot, over the banks, and I get back to the shop, and I says, hey, what about this brass rat? And he says, sir, so you're back for the story. I says, bugger the story, I want to ken if you've got a brass Colin Brown. But just on the Moore store, the fella's brother, he left his briefcase behind. And I runs after him, I says, excuse me sir, you've left your briefcase. And he says, oh, how can I ever repay you? And I says, oh, don't worry. He says, oh, no, I'll have to give you some reward for taking me back my briefcase. He was the fella's brother, rather Asian-looking complexion, tub and gave it away. And I says, no, don't worry. He says, you're hey. He said, listen, I'll give you the best piece of advice you'll ever get. And I says, oh, I go on, and he says, dinna visit Dalkeith. And I says, is it got to come under terrorist attack? He goes, no, it's a shithole. I just come up the road today, after I visited Hoyk High Street, I was coming up the road and I was coming through a place called Gala Shields. They say if you had a shell suit to your ear, you can hear Gala Shields. As any true Hoyk rugby fan like myself would ken, there's the most beautiful signpost just past Gala Shields. It's the most beautiful council signpost you've ever seen. I was driving out to Gala and I was just past Stow and I looked in my rear view mirror and I saw this beautiful, beautiful signpost. It says Gala 16, Hoyk 40. I come up here to South Mid and I met Jen here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you can. It's been a bad time for Jen, actually. She robbed the Dalkeith Bank, but she got it wrong. She tied up the safe and blew the guard. That was compounded when she got here tonight and she heard the news that the entire ladies South Mid tug-of-war team had all tested positive for John Hogg. I'd like to introduce a few of the South Mid members, because Jen's no got troubles to seek, but then when folk like Spock come over and jump the dyke for Edinburgh, Spock is indeed living proof, if ever it was needed, that Snow White and Dopey did have an affair. The other week Spock was in a bar for Paul Bernard, as his proper name is, if one of you doesn't ken him as Spock. He gets into a bar with this tup, and the barman goes, where did you get that hardly old scraggy thing? Found it in the market, replied the tup.
That is good to know.